Hi everyone, welcome to Facebook Live. My name's Amanda. We're going to get started here shortly. Today you're going to need a chair and an exercise band and a water bottle. We're also going to be kind of focusing on that cardio strength interval training. And as always, make sure you take breaks when you need and make sure you have water, like I said, handy as well. You're going to need a little space around you because we're going to be moving around a little bit, so make sure you kind of clear the area. And even if you're on carpet, we still recommend some good indoor running shoes for ankle support. Okay, so I'll let you get everything that you need, and I'll start with just a little bit of a march. We'll get that heart rate up. Again, you can hold on to the chair. All right, while we're here, let's just quickly talk about our ABCs. So A stands for abdominals. We want to squeeze those nice and tight. Okay, B is your bum. We want to squeeze that too and tuck it under. C is chest, so we want to open up our chest. And the second C is chin. So instead of poking our chin out, which it usually is probably throughout the day, we want to tuck that in. So we have a really nice line all the way down from our neck all the way down to our spine. And we're just going to hold that throughout the next 45 minutes or so and really focusing on our posture. Good. Let's take this march a little bit wider. So you might need to slow it down a little bit. Just take those legs apart. Good. 4, 3, 2, and back to narrow. I'm going to focus on lifting my knees a little bit higher, so that might need to slow you down a little bit, which is fine. But I'm just going to really focus on lifting those knees up, working on that hip flexion, which is very functional. Right? We want our hips working so we can get in and out of the car. We can lift our feet as we're walking up the stairs. Good. 4 more. 3, 2, and let's take this wide again, focusing on keeping those legs up, lifting from your hips, wherever feels comfortable for you. Again, going at your own pace for 4, 3, 2, and back to just a regular march. Good. All right, let's add a toe tap. So tap. So I'm just extending my leg to the front, tapping my toe, slowing it down if you need to. I'm going to add my arm curls because we're going to be doing some of these later with our band. So we might as well get those joints loosened up. Good. Holding the toe taps here. Let's add a little brain exercise into this one. Can you do the opposite arm and leg? So one leg is extending, the opposite arm is curling. Slow it down. Good. 4 more. 3, 2, and let's just tap to the side. So I'm just extending my leg straight out, tap. Again, make sure you use the chair for balance if you need. Good, let's add the arms. One arm, so same arm out to the side. Good. Can we try the opposite? Oh, that's a little bit trickier. There's your brain exercise. So opposites. Still focusing on our posture and our ABCs. Try not to poke that chin up, tuck that chin. Good. Shoulders back for 4, 3, 2, and tap to the back. So we've tapped to the front, we've tapped to the side. Now we're just extending our legs straight back. Good, as you can imagine, we're gonna add in those arms if you can. If just doing the legs is enough, focus on the legs today. Same arm as leg for now. So I'm just doing a nice gentle reach. Okay, again, very functional to try to lift our arms up over our head, like we're reaching to that top cupboard. Good, and let's do opposites. So I always have to stop, pause, and then figure out what the heck I'm doing. Here we go. Up. Still focusing on that posture, squeezing my abdominals. We'll go for 4, 3, 2, and back to a march. Good. All right, let's do a double step touch to the side. So step together, step, touch. Good. Swing the arms forward and back to start. Good. I'm going to add some rainbow arms again, getting that shoulder range of motion, getting those joints warmed up. Again, you can use the arms or not. You can always hold on to the chair. You're going to need a little room, like I said at the beginning. Good. 4 more. 3, 2, and we'll just go back to the march. Good. All right, with this one now, we're going to walk forward for 3, back for 3. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. Okay, so make sure you have some room. So we're going to go forward. 1, 2, 3, heel. 1, 2, 3, toe. 1, 2, 3, heel, toe. So you can travel, meaning you can move as much as you want. Good. As long as you have the room. Good. I'm just going to worry about legs. We're not going to add anything tricky with the arms. So you can rest easy on that one. Back. Tap. Slow it down if you need to. So 3 steps and a heel, 3 steps and a tap. Good. Hopefully you're getting the hang of this one. If not, you can just march on the spot too, just to keep that heart rate up. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and last 1. All right, so for me, I started with this leg, so we got to switch. So now this leg starts. So up, 2, 3, heel with the other leg, back, 2, 3, tap, up, dig, toe, heel, toe. Good. This is nice. This is a good one because you can travel if you have the room. Okay, you can travel a little bit, which is nice. Swing those arms. That gets the heart rate up a little bit, okay? If you're not able to let go of the chair, you can do this even just standing at the chair, right? 1. All it is a 1, 2, 3 march, and I'm not even moving. Good. 4 more. 3, 2, Last one. Good. Marching on the spot. Perfect. All right, let's just add knee lifts. So up, up. I'm gonna do a little bit more cardio here. What do we have for time? It's been about 10 minutes. I like to do about 12 to 15, getting that heart rate up. So all I'm doing is I'm lifting my leg, okay, and I'm just tapping the top of my thigh. Again, focusing on that great posture, shoulders down and back. Good. 4, 3, 2. Now we're just going to bend our knee and bring our heel up to our bum. I'm just bending it, bringing my heel up. Then if you want, you can add just tapping your heel at the back, okay, or just stick with the legs. Your choice. Always have options. And you can even do this in sitting. Just make sure you're on the edge of your chair. Good. 4 more. 3, 2, and back to a march. Good. All right, we're going to do one more little sequence here where we're going to cross our feet. Okay, so kind of like the grapevine, but it looks like this. So you're going to stop. You're going to step out, cross in front. The back leg releases, and then we come together. Okay, so out, in front, out, together. So out, in front, out, together, side, forward, side, together. Good. So I'm going to go a little bit faster just to keep that heart rate up. You can slow this right down, okay, because we are twisting and getting a little twisted up into like a little pretzel, okay? So you can always be behind your chair. Good. Good, let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Now we're going to do the same thing but cross behind. So step out, behind, step out, together, out, behind, out, together. Slow it down first. Good. This is good for our balance too. Good. Let's go a little bit faster. Perfect. Good. Again, not even worrying about the arms. The legs are complicated enough. Don't worry. Although the dancer in me wants to clap. Good. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right. March that out. Just going to slow it down. Hopefully your brain's not hurting too much. So let's just slow that down a little bit. Nice gentle toe taps to the front. Again, slowing it down, not like when we were doing this exercise earlier. We just want to slow down the heart rate a little bit before we get into the strength. Okay? Good. Let's just add step tap as well. Good. So I can already tell my heart rate's coming down. Okay, if you need a little more time, stay right here. Okay, or you can just do a nice, easy march on the spot. I'm going to grab some water, and then when I come back, we're going to do some bands. Perfect. Good, so that was about 15 minutes of cardio, which is kind of exactly what I was hoping for. So that worked out well. Okay, let's start. We're going to stand on the band. Okay, you can also do this seated, and I'll show you that. But for those of you that are going to stand, you're going to put your one foot on the band, okay? And then your hand is holding the band in the opposite hand. So this is what it looks like from the front version. Okay, and I'm going to come here. Now, my hand, you just need to hold on to the one side of the band. My free hand is going to be on my knee, so I have a good base of support. So this is my stability side. So I'm going to hold this nice and tight. Notice my neck and spine are in line, okay? So what I'm going to do is we're going to do a row, okay? So I'm going to bring that arm, my hand, up to kind of where my hip is, and I'm going to think of bringing that shoulder blade over to the midline of my body and then down. Now notice my neck, okay? I'm not cranking up, and I know right now you're probably looking up at me because you're wondering what I'm doing, but once you figure out what I'm doing, I encourage you to get that neck and spine in line and look about 3 to 4 feet in front of your toes. So we're just focusing on one arm right now, and we're squeezing that shoulder blade over to the midline of the body. Okay? Squeeze. Now as I lift my arm, I'm exhaling, and then I inhale. Good. I'm going to do about 3 more here. 2 and 1. Good. Perfect. Okay, now we got to switch sides. So this is how it looks. I'm going to show you seated. For those of you who need to do it sitting, okay, you're on the edge of your seat. Okay, you still have that forward bend from your hips. Okay, so we're not rounding out your back. You're leaning forward from your hips. Okay, and you're pulling up. Okay, so if you need to sit, same idea, feet is on the band. Again, looking 2 to 3 feet in front of me. Good, leaning forward a little bit, but still focusing on that neck and spine alignment. Okay. Good. So things we want to focus on here is keeping that shoulder down. Sometimes that shoulder wants to sneak up, so let's keep that shoulder down and back. Okay, thinking of bringing that shoulder blade over to the midline of our body, looking about 3 to 4 feet in front of your toes, so you have that neck and spine alignment. And last but not least, breathing. Exhaling as we lift, inhale as we lower. Good, we'll do about 3 more. 2 and 1. Good. All right, we're going to get into that cardio. Now we did a strength exercise. Let's do some cardio. I like to do a little bit of a timer. You don't have to. Okay, but I'd like to do a little bit of a timer. So just start marching your feet for me while I figure this out here. Okay, marching our feet. Then I'm going to do about a minute of cardio. So we're going to get that heart rate back up a little bit. All right, let's just start with those marches. So again, picking up those knees, nice and tall, shoulders down and back. Good, you might go out and in if you want, your choice. Good. Keep that heart rate up. Moving those arms, that helps too. Again, you can do this from a seated position. Okay, as long as you're seated at the front of the chair and have that great posture. Good, 10 more seconds, and that'll be a minute. Good, and rest. Good. All right, slow it down a little bit. Okay, we're gonna grab our band. Gonna do our chest now. Okay, so again, have a seat if you need to. If you want to slow your heart rate down a little bit more, just do some nice toe taps to the side, or step touches, I should say, or toe taps, whatever you want. Slow down the breathing. Okay, and when you're ready, you can go ahead and join me. So my band is underneath my armpits, kind of right in the middle of my back and upper back. My feet are nice and wide. I have a really good base of support here. Okay, and I'm going to extend my arms straight out to the side. Okay, I'm squeezing my abdominals. I'm tucking and squeezing my bum. Okay, I'm not letting that chin poke out, focusing on tucking that in too. And then I'm going to bring my hands together just below my shoulders, so don't get them up too high. And then open. Good. So if you're someone who has shoulder kind of issues or those nagging injuries that just never seem to go away, you can do this one without the band. Okay? Because even just getting the range of motion is so important, right? So we can get that synovial fluid moving throughout our body, because that lubricates our joints, and then everything seems to work a little bit better. So moving is good. So even without the band, feel free, okay? Get those arms moving the best you can. If you can't get your arms up this high, bring them down a little bit lower. Okay, good. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. So while we're putting that away, I just want to talk to you about muscle fatigue. So that's what we want to do when we're strength training. You want to get to a muscle fatigue. So at the end there, I said 4 more. If you're thinking like, I don't think I could do 4 more, I'm only going to do 2, then do 2. If after I say 4 more, you're like, I think I could do 8 more, then go ahead and do 8 more. Okay, you want to get to that point where it definitely feels difficult, but not so difficult that you're struggling to keep your form and technique. Okay, so that's what I mean by muscle fatigue. All right, let's get back to the cardio now. Okay, let's add our toe taps. Okay, and arm curls. Good, so we're going to do exactly pretty much what we did in our cardio portion. So that way, a little bit of muscle memory there from what we did earlier, and it's easier for you to know kind of what I have planned. Although you can't be in my brain, I don't think you want to, but we'll keep it the same as what we did for the cardio, so it's not exercises that you haven't seen yet. Good, you can always alternate. Again, you want to get that heart rate back up a little bit if you can. Again, you can sit as well. Do this one from a seated position. You can even get that heart rate up from a seated position. No, nothing wrong with that. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, grab that band. We got one more back exercise here. Okay. Let's work on the back squeeze. So with the back squeeze, okay, we're so used to pulling in the middle of our band. This gets stretched a lot, doesn't it, right? So let's focus on using the end, kind of towards the end of the band, the part that doesn't get stretched as much. That's going to give us a little bit more resistance in our workout today. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to have your hands close enough together that you can touch your index fingers like this, and then you're going to grab like that. So that's how close your hands should be together. Okay, from here, make sure you got your band out of the way so it's not a tripping hazard. Okay, you're going to lift your elbows up like the chicken dance, right? So lift those elbows up. Hands are below your elbows, so we don't want this. So your elbows are actually going to be a bit higher than what your hands are. And my hands are about at my armpit height. Okay, so you want to keep those a little bit lower too, because if you get those arms up too high, then those darn shoulders sneak back up. So let's keep your arms about armpit height, elbows up. From here, you're gonna pull the band apart, keeping your elbows up, and just bring your elbows back behind you slightly till you feel a gentle squeeze of the shoulder blades, and then release. So pull the band apart, elbows up, squeeze, and release. So this is a really easy one to kind of do this, right? The neck isn't moving because we got our chin tucks going on here, right? Squeeze. Exhale as you pull apart. Inhale as you come together. Now this one's tricky. You might already be starting to feel that muscle fatigue, right? If that's the case, try 1 or 2 more and then stop. I'm gonna do about 4 more and stop. 3, 2, and 1. Whew, there we go. Definitely feeling those muscles in the upper back, between the shoulder blades. Okay, let's get back into our cardio. Next one we're gonna do, step tap to the side. Good, and let's swing the arms. Doesn't matter what you do with the arms. I'm doing both arms opposite. You can do the same. You can do no arms. You can do forward and back arms. Doesn't matter to me. Okay, what matters to me is that those legs are moving. You're getting that heart rate up again. Still focusing on our ABCs. Nice and tall. Squeeze the abdominals. Extend that leg. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right. Slow that down. Grab some water. Okay. Slow down the marching. Add a step touch. All right, we've done enough arms for now. Okay, let's focus on legs. We're gonna get right into our squats. Okay, I'm gonna have the chair in front. Okay, today, actually, I wanna do, no, I don't. Okay. See, I've changed my mind. See, you don't want to be inside this thing. All right, hands on the chair if you need it. Okay, I'll show you what it looks like with the hands on the chair. So the first thing to move when we're doing our squats is our hips, because we want our weight to shift towards our heels. Okay, so my feet are nice and wide, so they're at least hip width, if not more apart. Okay, hips go back. Then I'm going to bend my knees. As I come up, I squeeze my bum. Okay, the whole time I'm looking straight ahead, right? Out on the horizon, okay? So out and then squeeze. So be careful that you're not, again, trying to look up too much probably at me right now, because you're trying to see what I'm doing. Once you figure out kind of the squat, what you're supposed to do, focus straight ahead, out on the horizon. Don't forget the squeeze of the bum. You can do a baby squat if you don't want to go down as far. Okay? The biggest thing with the squats, as I'm sure you know this, right, is we don't want our knees in front of our toes. Okay? This isn't a squat, right? We want our hips back and then squeeze. Good. Squats are so functional in our everyday life. So much sitting and standing that we do. They also help us lift and carry things. Good. Don't forget the squeeze at the top. Squeeze the bum. Good. I'm going to do 4 more. 3 more. 2. Good, all right, back into our cardio, okay? Heel taps to, or toe taps to the back, good. This one I'm gonna lift both arms at the same time. So I automatically have to slow down a little bit because it slows me down. I'm focusing on my balance, okay? Feel free to hold on to a chair, or feel free to just march. Always have options, or even better, feel free to sit and march, okay? Again, it's your workout. You know how you're feeling. Make sure you always listen to your body. It'll always tell us, okay, what's going on with it, what it needs, what it doesn't need. We just have to listen. Good. Extend those legs straight back. Arms up if you can, even one at a time. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right. Perfect. Back to the legs. Okay. I'm going to add some hip abduction exercises. So I'm going to hold on to the chair for this one because this definitely turns into a leg exercise. Plus, balancing is a big component in this one. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold on to the back of the chair. You're going to lift your leg out to the side. As you do so, you're going to lead with the heel and have your toe pointed forward. So almost like you're pigeon-toed, and then come down. Same side again, up and down. Now be careful with this one because it's actually a low lift. Okay, it's not about how high you can lift it. We're not going for flexibility here. We're going for strength and balance. So keep it low, keep your neck and spine in line on a straight axis, don't lean, okay? After you do a couple, can you lighten your grip? Maybe do a finger or two, maybe hover. Good. Again, really focusing on turning that toe forward. This one feels awkward, and it should, okay? Up. Good. 4 more. 3. Go slow. 2 and 1. Good. Shake that out. You might find with this one that your standing leg is the one that starts kind of kicking in too, right? Because it's taking all your weight. All right, we got to switch legs though, so we're not lopsided. Okay, so standing up nice and tall, working on our ABCs, squeeze those abdominals, okay? Squeeze your glutes, standing up nice and tall, lifting with your heel, turning that toe forward, okay? And down. Maybe this is a better way to do it so you can see. So it's literally like I'm turning my toe forward to the front. Good. And I'm keeping it low. Notice it's maybe a foot off the ground. It's not very high, but I'm keeping my posture straight up. Good. I'm going to maybe just hold on with a finger. This isn't my good side. Maybe I'll try to hover. The more I squeeze everything, the easier my balance is. Also, if I focus on something directly in front of me and up a little bit, that helps my posture too. Good. 3 more. 2 more. And last 1. Good. Great. Okay, back into a march. This is the one where you lift your knees up as high as you can. Okay, we've got a minute of this. Lift those knees up. Good. Again, if you want to avoid the cardio interval part, feel free. Have some water, take a break. Okay, you don't have to do anything you don't feel like you want to today. Good, that's halfway. Now let's bring to the back. So bring those heels up to our bum. Nice and tall. I'm going to bring those shoulders back. This one always feels good. Making sure we're squeezing those shoulder blades, slowing it down if you need to. Holding onto the chair. Lots of options. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right. Let's grab some water again. How are we doing for time? Almost time. All right. We're going to have a seat. I want to do some abdominals with you. Okay. So that'll be the end of the cardio strength intervals. Lots of different options here though, especially if you're one of our amazing leaders. First of all, thank you. Lots of options for you to do with your classes, okay? Like I said, it could be a seated interval option where you sit and march, okay? If you have people that aren't able to stand as much, okay, they can do everything from a seated position, right? And still do some strength and cardio, just to alternate, which is always good for us too. Good. All right. With this one, we're going to sit up nice and tall. Okay. We're just going to start by lifting one arm up and down. So notice I'm sitting at the edge of my seat. Okay. My back is not touching my backrest. I'm squeezing my abdominals. Even in a seated position, I'm squeezing my bum. Because as soon as I squeeze my bum, oh, I sit up even taller. Huh, imagine that. Okay. Now my chin needs to be tucked in so it's in line. It's getting hard, right? That neck is getting tired, but we're just lifting one arm and the other. Good. Okay, now I want you to lift one knee up and down and the other knee up and down. Keeping this posture because it's hard to not stay up straight. And then if you're leaning back and slouching, then we're like, oh, I can lift my legs higher. Well, that's actually not what we're wanting. We're wanting straight, tall posture and just a little bit of a leg lift. And if you're really squeezing your abdominals here, you're going to feel this in your abs, which is really what I'm going for. Okay? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to lift the opposite arm and knee up, okay? So up and down, up. Okay, so it's exactly what we just did individually. Now we're just combining the leg and the arm. Still tucking that chin, sitting up tall. You might feel this in your back. Okay, it's strengthening your back muscles as well as your abdominals. Slow it down so you focus on your abdominals lifting your knee. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, let's lean back just a hair. Okay, let's try that again, but this time let's extend the leg straight out. So now I'm leaning back a little bit. I'm lifting my arm up and down. So it's putting a little bit more pressure on those abdominals because I'm leaning back, working on my stability muscles to balance me here, squeezing everything. Okay, and I'm breathing. If you need a break, feel free because you're going to feel this one. Okay, take a break when you need. Good, let's do 4 more. 3, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 2, and 1. Good, definitely feeling that up in my back and definitely in my abdominals. Hopefully you did too. Let's stretch, sit up nice and tall. Let's just drop your ear over to your shoulder. Dropping your opposite hand down, feeling the nice stretch in the side of your neck, and focusing on our breathing. This is the flexibility part, kind of the cool down phase. We want to really focus on our breathing, getting oxygen to those muscles we just worked. Good, come back up, pause in the center, and drop your ear to the other side. And back to the breathing. Good, all right, bring one arm across, grab between your elbow and your shoulder, give it a nice squeeze. Again, notice I'm still sitting on the edge of my seat. Class isn't quite over yet, so let's keep working on those ABCs right till the bitter end. Good, and other arm comes across, grab between the elbow and the shoulder, bring it in. Sitting up nice and tall. You to reach straight up, okay? The opposite arm is going to grab that wrist, okay? And we're just thinking of lifting that arm. This hand is help pulling that arm straight up, okay? We don't want to lean, okay? Osteoporosis Canada doesn't recommend that we lean over anymore with our spine, especially as we age if we're over 50, okay? So you want to sit up nice and tall. And all we're doing is we're just kind of pulling that arm up so we get more of a stretch down through our ribs and our hip. Good, and then switch, up. Again, sitting up tall, no leaning, and down. Good, bring those arms behind your back, okay? So gently bring your arms behind your back, okay? From here, flex your wrists. So you point your fingers towards the back of the room. Again, careful that chin doesn't poke out. Tuck it in. Good. And roll those shoulders down and back. Good. Let's extend the leg out, heel down, toe is up. Okay. From here, hands are on your bent knee. We're leaning forward from our hips. Again, my gaze is about 3 to 4 feet in front of my extended leg, just to keep that neck and spine alignment again. There's a soft bend in my knee, and I'm also thinking of bringing my toes up to my nose. My heel stays on the floor, but I'm really thinking of bringing my toes up so I get that nice stretch in the back of the calf muscle as well as in the front of that shin. Okay, making sure you're sitting on the very edge of your seat so you get the full effect of this hamstring stretch here. Good, lift that leg up if you can, cross it over onto your thigh, okay, and back to sitting up tall. If that's a no-go zone for you because of hip problems or surgeries, okay, you can just extend it out like this and lean forward like this. So you can put it on your shin, wherever feels comfortable, and still get the same idea. Good. Rotate that ankle from here. So right now we're stretching the hip into the glute. Good. And release. All right. Extend the other leg out, still sitting on the edge of our seat. Heel down, toe up, hands on the bent knee. Lean forward. Again, looking 3 to 4 feet in front of us. Soft bend in the knee, thinking of bringing your toes up to your nose, slowing down that breathing. Good, lift that leg up, place it onto wherever you can. Maybe it's on top of that thigh, or maybe it's just on that shin, okay? Leaning forward a little bit so you feel that right into that glute and that hip. And rotate that ankle. And the other way. Good. All right, let's do our hip flexor stretch here. So let's turn, holding onto the back of the chair. Extend one leg back. Okay, as far as you can, comfortably. Make sure you're holding onto something, either the back of the chair or the armrests right here. From here, shoulders and hips are pointed in the same direction. Then you're going to lean back just a hair till you feel a slight pull. Remember when we're stretching, we only want to feel a pull. You never want to feel pain. If you're feeling pain, you need to back off a little bit, okay? Lift that arm straight up to the roof if you want to. Eyes are looking out on the horizon. We're really relaxing into this stretch because boy, do we feel this one. These muscles, these hip flexors are tight. Okay, these are the ones that help us sit and stand all day long. So these ones need to be stretched. Sometimes if you're having some lower back aches and pains, maybe try doing this stretch a couple times, see if that loosens it up. Because it's all connected. Good. Bring your knees together, slowly, carefully, turning to the other side. Leg goes back. Shoulders, hips pointed in the same direction. Lean back just a hair and then lift that arm straight up. Again, notice the difference from one side to the next. So we recommend holding these stretches for about 20 to 30 seconds. Obviously, we don't have that time in our classes, so feel free to go back and hold the stretches longer if you need to. Okay, let's stand up. Let's end with our 3 big breaths. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one, up and down. Good. I hope you enjoyed today's class. Once again, Facebook's been moved now to Tuesdays at 1:30. Those of you who are joining live know that, but some of you who are maybe watching an old video might not have known that we have changed our classes from Wednesdays to Tuesdays. So Tuesdays at 1:30. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.